How's it, guys? Spark from Wavescape here with your updated winter surf forecast for Monday the 26th. Going through until, wow, next weekend. We're going to be looking at some epic surf on the way. In fact, there's surf from now right through until springtime pretty much, and at times proper. You know, as we move towards transition between winter and spring, you often have a lot more volatility, conflicts in air temperature, forecasts upgrading and downgrading, but you're also getting a lot of mixed high and low pressure systems, and highs trying to origin behind the lows that are starting to dip south, and the highs are trying to get their influence more powerful. And of course, what often happens is those perfect south to southeast swells that we love. But first of all, I just want to give you the bigger picture here, and it's interesting that this is the global forecasting system on Windy, showing this plethora of storms. It's almost like an endless band of storms running all the way around the planet. But now, if you had to look at the ECMWF forecast, it's showing much more potent conditions than the global forecasting system. And that's right now, today, Monday the 26th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I would tend to believe that maybe Europe's got this one a bit better. Certainly there's strong winds on the coast in the Southern Cape. Okay. The other thing I just wanted to show you is that the jet stream is now moving in a very west to east trajectory, and I just want to show you what happens on Monday in a week's time and then into Tuesday. Check how that jet stream starts dropping below the high pressure, and then if we go and look at what's going on in the storms at the time, we're going to suddenly start seeing a bunch of really powerful storms following that jet stream track. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this storm in particular next week, which reaches 80 knots and looks like there's proper surf. Before I do that, let's just go back to the swell that's coming tomorrow. Okay, a lot of guys in Cape Town are getting excited about going to those tucked away spots that only work in really giant swell or with swell that needs a bit of east. And my gut feeling is that it's showing 5 meters at 12 seconds southwest tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Winds are good for False Bay, for certain spots in False Bay maybe, but I don't think the swell's going to be getting in and around there too much. There's plenty of surf. There's just storm after storm passing in the roaring 40s. In the PE area, for instance, on Thursday morning, it's 3.5 meters at 13 seconds. On Friday, 3.1 at 12 seconds. On Saturday, 4.6 meters at 11 seconds. Sunday, 4.4 meters at 12 seconds. Monday, 3.2 meters at 12 seconds. Loads of swell, guys, loads of swell coming up. Of course, if you look at winds, we really are locked into a solid winter pattern. You know, if you look at from today, Monday, and just peg anywhere in the coast, like let's say in the St. Francis area or wherever, southwest 17 knots, okay. Tuesday, west 15 knots. Wednesday, west 11 knots. Thursday, light northerlies, northwesterlies, probably Kif land breeze conditions. Friday, west 10 knots. Saturday, west 20 knots pumping. Sunday, west 10 knots. Monday, west 4 knots. Tuesday, west 5 knots. It's crazy. Southwest 40 knots, and then this huge storm that passes. Let's talk about this guy. The European model, and we just like to look at the wind gusts. Holy cannelloni, look at that. Look at that thing. Look at it. It's sure, it's solid. Come Wednesday and into Thursday, 4th and 5th, and Friday the 6th. Yes, it's very large swell, giant swell. So tighten your corsets. And then in fact, come Wednesday, it's 42 knots on the coast, and all the usual suspects will obviously be out of control, barring only a few, and then it passes, and then the storm is actually due to pretty much, if we look at the pressure, it goes down to like 954 millibars. Then there's another one coming up behind it, 958, and that's following the jet stream track that I was talking about. Suffice to say, come Tuesday, Wednesday next week, there are 3 giant storms, one after the other, and this first one actually gets into a whole southeast track, and that means southeast swell hitting the upper reaches of the Eastern Cape and into KZN. So yeah, guys, lots ahead. If we had to just take a quick look at the actual model outputs and how they rendered, like this is obviously the one that is on Wavescape, 16 feet at 15 seconds southwest to 16 degrees for tomorrow morning in a moderate southwesterly wind, and then of course the next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, you're not quite seeing the arrival of all the power, the juice. Eastern Cape West, which is obviously the St. Francis to PE side of the Eastern Cape, Yeah, today and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday are firing. Out of control and wild and woolly at a lot of spots, but those sheltered point breaks obviously are going to be firing. Amazing, this long run of west wind and west swell. Super late in winter, but yeah, it's really good. And then KZN side, yeah, it obviously starts to taper off, and you got more of the subtropical microclimate weather conditions there, more easterlies. Next couple of days, nice glassy light winds, light southeast with a little bit of swell on the points probably. Wednesday, iffy southerly breezes. Tuesday, it's a whole day of pumping northeast. Friday, there's a buster that comes through, and there's a little bit of swell that comes with it, but too much wind and too south in the wind. It's really that bad season. You know how KZN starts to go downhill, often in July. Sunday is looking like an option for those handle a bit of swell, and then of course next week be interesting to see the carnage that's on the way. Anyway guys, that's it from me. Thank you and cheers.